Hey guys, welcome back to another SAM.gov bids episode. Today we are looking at a Gavin's Point cleaning and janitorial services for Training Dyke Day Use Area bid. That's definitely a mouthful. And today we will be answering 3 questions as we walk through the solicitation. Number 1 will be finding information to answer what is the job, what's required in my response, and do I want to bid on it. And last but not least, if you do want to follow along with this, make sure you check the description in this video because I do have the SAM.gov listing link in there if this is something maybe even you would personally be interested in for your business. So let's go ahead and dive into this today. So the first question I'm answering is, what is the job? So I'm going to go ahead, pull the title that gives us a little bit of info. We're knowing that this is cleaning and janitorial services. So it tells us a lot up front. Coming down, we see this is for USACE, which is the Army Corps of Engineers, but we are interested in the date that the offers are due. That's super important. So we can go ahead and snag that. This is due April 7th, and at the time of recording it, it is March 23rd. So you have actually a couple weeks. So this one we're kind of on top of. The set aside for this is total small business. So you are more than likely a small business. So you don't have to have any additional set-asides to bid on this. You're qualified, you can go. This is something that you can go after if janitorial services and cleaning is something that your business can provide. Also important is the NAICS code 561720. This is also great as well to look at NAICS codes from doing a research standpoint. If you're not sure what NAICS code that you should be looking for, that's maybe a match for your business, maybe you're new to SAM, what you can do is go into SAM and search by keyword and then kind of see what solicitations come up and then pull the NAICS code off of those solicitations that come up to reverse engineer the process. That's just a little golden nugget for you there on the side. So let's go ahead and keep working our way through. They're telling us the Army Corps of Engineers Omaha District hereby announces a solicitation for cleaning and janitorial services. This is due April 7th. This is restricted to small businesses only. That's what that means. There is a site visit actually tomorrow, so we're a little bit late on the site visit for recording this video. It's not saying necessarily yet if it's mandatory or not, but obviously you always want to try to attend something like that if possible. Project description, you're going to provide supervision, labor, materials, tools to provide the cleaning and janitorial services at the Training Dyke Day area for the Army Corps. Okay, we're seeing a lot of repeat information, and that's okay. But here's an important one: period of performance, when the work will essentially begin and end. This is 12 month plus 5 actual option years. So it's actually a base plus 5. Typically we see a base plus 4. So this is really a 6-year contract if you can get it. That's great. That's really, really good. And it's really good information to learn about answering, what is this job? NAICS code we already know. Obtaining solicitation documents. This is a bit of, they're talking about beta SAM. This is probably boilerplated in here because beta SAM has since changed. So I'm not really, too concerned about that yet. They're giving us specifically the place of performance. So I can go ahead and grab that as well. Why not? And this is probably going to be mostly what we can grab from the SAM.gov listing page. But as you can see here, we've already gathered a lot of great intel on answering this question. And this is something you could do as an exercise if you are new to SAM.gov and you're new to bidding. That's kind of why I'm doing these videos for you, to kind of show you an easy way to get things going. So we have a note, and then we have our attachments. We have one attachment, looks like a solicitation doc. Whenever they name something, the solicitation number, that's pretty much a dead giveaway. Contracting, we have Brianna Bone. So the only POC in contracting here. So Brianna's probably the contracting officer. Actually, no, they're telling us the specialist. So don't know who the officer is on this one to obligate the funds. We just have the specialist. Doesn't matter. Brianna is who you're going to be submitting your bid to. And then for the site visit, we have David, Park Ranger. So, some good info as well. But I'm just scrolling up to show you this. Here's the solicitation number, the notice ID, W9128F. That's the name for this file. That's what I was just trying to reference as well. W9128F. So 22 is probably going to be the fiscal year. W9128 is the DODAC. And then 003, Q0036 the part of the number is going to be the bid probably number for that year, which is again 22. So again, another little side golden nugget. There is actually meaning behind the different parts of the number. It's not all just totally random. So now, since we only have really one document to get into, which is the solicitation, let's go ahead and look at it. And we're still finishing up answering our question, what is this job? And now I'm looking for a bit more details about this cleaning, this janitorial effort. I'm probably going to be looking for something like a PWS scope of work, statement of work, to get some of those meat and potato details, as I like to say. This is SF 1449 form. If you've been following along, I kind of just want to go to the section now, and I didn't have to hunt for it. It's literally page 3 here, PWS. So this is what I was looking for. So let's go ahead and see what, 2022 to 2027. Insane that we're at that time in history. Whenever you see these dates that you never, it's crazy. So I want to start making my way through this PWS. This bolding immediately jumps out to me. The contract requires a minimum of 2 people during the period of performance. So basically, when you're on-site cleaning, they need 2 people. So that's, usually they don't tell you that. Usually it's like, whatever it takes, you do it. That's what you're signing up for. But they're kind of throwing you a bone here. 2 people during the pop. Some background information. I kind of want to get some more details. This is cool. It's telling us really the start date of the base period, which is May 11th. So that would be a couple months from now. This contract will actually begin performance. So if you bid and you win, that's going to be the start date. Looking for more details on the type of work. I may have to come back, but just kind of scrolling right now. Specific qualifications. Got it. So let's just scroll a little bit here to see if they're going to give us some like specific duties, specific activities, definitions. Government furnished means what the government's going to provide, so always an important section to check that out. Contractor furnished, this is what they're telling you need to provide. So that's equipment, supplies, vehicle to get there, camping unit. That's kind of interesting. If the contractor requests to live on site, you're going to have to furnish that. Interesting, living on site, 2 people. Not typically what you would see for janitorial. So here is more of the scope of work. Within the PWS, the scope of work is more of the nitty-gritty details. Sometimes they break it out that way, sometimes they don't. But specific tasks is what I was looking for. So what do they have for us? The contractor shall successfully complete all cleaning and janitorial services each day, or each workday rather, throughout the period of performance in all open facilities and grounds. Okay, I want more specifics. The contractor's primary work area shall include completing cleaning and janitorial services within, we already know this. The secondary work area shall include completing janitorial services within Cottonwood Campground and Day Use Area and Nebraska Tailwaters Campground, Day Use Area, Group Camp. Okay, so they're talking more specifically now about the Tuesday Cottonwood Campground, Thursday Nebraska Tailwaters. Okay, so I'm seeing a Tuesday, Thursday thing going on here. Additional on-call services as well. Then a comfort station cleaning. And then they're talking about, let's see, doors, ceilings, roofs, ventilation. So those are some of the nitty-gritty details that I would be looking for. Floors, wash basins, bird and insects, cleaning and polishing mirrors, sidewalks, trash and debris, refuse containers, toilet paper, every 14 days, remove the drain covers. Vault toilet cleaning, it goes on and on. Picnic shelter cleaning. So they're being specific here. This is really what I wanted. And this is a lot of info, so I obviously cannot copy and paste all of this to kind of finally answer our first question here of what is the job. This is the job, okay? This is the job, and I'm going to make a reference to this page. And I'm just going to use that to fill it in. So we have the government furnished, the contractor furnished, and then we have the scope of work, which begins on page 18. Scope of work begins page 18. And then, Tuesday, I want to grab those Tuesday, Thursday schedule that we saw. So Cottonwood Campground. I guess I'll just copy and paste it, because that is, probably the most specific thing that they gave us. Whoa, all right. My mouse is acting funny today. It's always something. That's technology for you. And then we're just gonna say, and other stations, because there was a lot of others, so I'm not gonna grab all of those. But I'm just wanted to highlight this for future reference. This is giving us more information on the areas, and then also the work kind of being performed. Let's see. We'll go ahead and grab this because we're talking about a lot of the different, during each service, you must do all of the following. So this is a good kind of general overarching statement to add to what is answering the job. And that's the last thing that I'm going to include for this first question. What is the job? I think we've kind of identified it pretty quickly and covered it fairly comprehensively. If you're doing this on your own, if you're following along, you want to make sure that you read this stuff pretty thoroughly, guys. I'm kind of pointing it out, showing you the process, right? So what is the job? This is the job pretty thoroughly. Next, let's move on to our next question. What is required in my response? Okay, your packet, your proposal response, whatever you want to call it, really whatever is required, what is required in my response? So that's what we're going to try to find next. We're not going to find that in the PWS. More often than not, they would have an area called an instruction to offerers, evaluation factors, or sections L and M. This is actually good here too. This is a, looks like it's a, what do they call this? They're calling it facility inventory, but just kind of a bit of a list per area and per area to clean and per location, I guess. That helps you kind of, to get an idea of what the job is too for our first question. Just we haven't scrolled down this far. So we're also seeing this bid sheet. So that's super interesting. And I think we found our first thing. We're going to have to answer to this. So what is required in my response? We need to fill out this bid sheet. Fill out bid sheet on page 33. 33. So that's super important. And we'll just say base plus 5 option years. So that's, super easy to reference. We got the page number. We know we need to include this in our response. This is something that you can do, guys. They're telling us, just at a glance, I'm just curious because I haven't seen this yet. Let's see what this says, just for the base period. Provide janitorial services for Gavin's Point Project Rec areas and public use facilities in accordance. They're saying 133 days times blank per day, and then they're going to want the total. So we will also say price per day and total days for the year. So that's how you'd fill this out. It's very, very simple math, very intuitive to understand, and they're telling you the period, May 11th through October 11th. So that's June, July, August, September, October. So May to June, June to July, July to August, August to September, September to October. To me, that's a 5-month base period, right? Because you can't just do May and June. It's May to June, June to July, like I just did. So it's really looking like a 5-month base period. And then let's look at the options. So funny. They're saying also, again, May 17th through October 17th. So we are not seeing service, guys, from mid-October through mid-May. It's like they don't have service. It's like they don't need the service because it's winter or because these areas are not open. So this was kind of a real big break in the case right now. it also makes sense why they're doing 133 days, right? Like that's what, close to almost like, it's less than half of a year, right? 365 days in a year. Half of that would be, around 180, whatever, right? So 130 is less than that. So although we are looking at a base plus 5 options, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're looking at, just under half a year of service per year. So that's really, really important info, and that kind of caught me off guard. I'm glad that we took a minute to catch that and dissect that. So service provided just under half a year, and we'll say 133 days. Because not only is it not seeming like it's every day, like they're referencing Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're also saying, right, that it's from May to October consistently. So that's a huge giveaway. So we're still answering what is required in my response. We spent some time on that. That was super important. This is your invoice sheet, no problem. This is a map, no problem. Then we're hit with the pricing cleanse. Okay, so these are pricing cleanse that are going to reflect essentially the same things that you would have just filled out. You're gonna have to fill them out. Like you're gonna have to fill out both. Fill out pricing cleanse. It's gonna be the same math, same numbers, but contracting repeats stuff sometimes. So we see this, it's part of the government form, it's part of the SF 1449. So we are going to fill that out as part of our response. Delivery schedule, great. Not gonna talk about it right now. We're approaching our reps and certs, representations and certifications. So I left it out of the previous trainings, but fill out complete reps and certs, or you can also download these from your SAM.gov entity registration. When you registered in SAM, download it's called the DFARS report. And you'll see that on the left-hand side of the table of contents within your SAM.gov entity, you'll see representations and certifications. Okay, it's all these little boxes and things that you need to fill out in here. You've already filled them out. So if you don't want to fill them out every time you bid, you can just download that from your SAM profile as well. But here we are. Evaluation, that's important. The government will award a contract resulting from the solicitation. Okay, so we're gonna find some information out. I already see it. Spoiler alert about what we need in our response. What's required in my response. So we've already got 3 things, really like 2.5 because of the pricing cleanse. They are telling us this is best value. So this is super important. How is the winning bidder going to be chosen? The evaluation criteria, the evaluation approach. Is it lowest price? Is it best value? They are saying it is best value, which means price only is not going to be the only thing that is important to them. The government is willing to pay more for the job to have it done better, or to essentially get the best value for the government. Whatever's most advantageous to the government, they're willing to pay more for that to get good service. And that could be defined a number of ways, but likely it's going to be looking at what is your approach, your technical approach, and maybe even what is your company's experience, what is your past performance. That's how they weigh in other things in addition to price to essentially get the best value and whatever's going to be most advantageous to the government. That's what best value means. So we don't really have a place for this. This is not part of our response. Maybe I'll have to build this in somewhere because it is so important. And we didn't really see it. We saw more LPTA on the previous RFQs we have done, the request for quotes. There's lowest price bids. This one is more of another step up. And again, that's why I chose this one too. I'm trying to ascend the ladder with you guys with some of these examples. So I'm going to say this is best value, and I just want to read a little bit. Offers will be rated on the following factors. There are 3 factors. I already know I'm going to end up copying, pasting all 3 of these because this is what's looking to be the heart of answering this question. What do I have to do? What do I have to give you, Brianna, in contracting to be considered for award on this job? And how do I do a good job at it? So Number 1, past performance and references. Offerers shall, 3 examples, so the wording is a little messed up here. Offerers Offerers shall provide 3 examples, I'm assuming they mean, of previous employment, contracts, even volunteer work, or work within the last 8 years. You're opening it up to 8 years, not just 3 to 5, in which the offerer has completed similar work. Provide references, name, title, phone number, and references should not be from any current USACE Gavin's Point project employees. Okay, almost alluding to the fact that individual employees themselves, who, and they can do this, guys, individual contractors, people, you can go and register in SAM.gov, use your social security number instead of a EIN TIN number, right? For a business, you can use your social security number, and you can bid on contracts as a person. So they're almost, I don't really get into that a whole lot, but it happens. And guess what? They undercut all the businesses because they're the ones that are doing the work, right? So there's no kind of like double markup there. It's just the one link in the chain, if you will. So they're kind of, to me, I'm seeing that being alluded to a little bit. Who knows? Who knows? If you go to the site visit, maybe you could ask questions if there's an incumbent, things like that. How is this currently being done? Unless it's a brand new park, somebody's got to be cleaning it. Stuff like that. But that's kind of how I interpret that. But I also see some good stuff in here, allowing you to do 8 years instead of 3 to 5. Also, volunteer work and stuff like that. So if you're one of the ones who say, Derek, I don't have great past performance, well, they're kind of going easy on you here, if you ask me. Number 2, technical approach. Description of cleaning techniques and methodologies. We want you to submit a description of your cleaning techniques and methodologies, which you will use to complete the described activities that were listed in the scope of work. The offerer shall describe in detail how you're going to clean each facility, including the comfort station, the toilets, the fish stations, the grills. Okay, this is your technical approach. It's not government contracting. This is just writing for your business. How are you going to do this? It doesn't have to be any certain page length they have not identified. They're not saying longer is better, so just answer the question, okay? That's what we're doing with this technical approach. Also include equipment, material, supplies to be used in completion of the work. And then number 3, technical approach, execution of the cleaning schedule. Submit a work schedule. So now they want a schedule for number 3 here to complete all required cleaning. Basically, how are you going to show us the schedule? How are you going to hit all the places as often as we're wanting you to hit them? 133 days a year. You have to tie all that together and answer that in this basically second part of the technical approach in factor 3 here. Okay, and then it ends. And then we go into more reps and certs. So as I said, that's really the heart of what is required in my response. We are snagging that for sure. It definitely made a mess out of my document here with my spacing. So that's okay. All I'm going to do is going to bold. So we're going to bold past performance and references. We know we need that. We know we need technical approach part 1. And we need the technical approach part 2. And, my OCD kicks in and I can't help myself but clean this up just a little bit, even though I said I didn't need to. I secretly need to. Okay, so number 3, number 2. All right, sweet. So that only took a second. Go ahead and add in number 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Sound good? Makes sense? What's required in my response? The pricing stuff, pricing cleanse, bid sheet on page 33, reps and certs. This is best value, just keep in mind. And then factors 1, 2, and 3. Write this up. This is how you are going to compliantly respond to this. Whether you're going to win or not, I don't know. But you got to start somewhere. And again, this one's not even that bad on the past performance, if that's an issue for you. So yeah, that's it. That's the answer for this one. We have not gone through the whole document. If we come across something else, we can always bounce back and add to the section. But right now I'm feeling pretty confident that we've captured what we've needed. And today's video, guys, it's taking a little bit longer now because this one is a little bit more involved. Same process, same 3 questions that we've been answering on the previous trainings. Those were just more of like an RFQ, like I said, LPTA. Didn't take a whole lot. This really is not a whole lot either, but it is a little bit of a step up. But the point is, it's the same process. Reps and certs, as I said, we've already captured those. And mind you, we're only halfway through this document. So it's probably just going to be, as you can see, a lot of reps and certs. Again, for example, check what is your company tax structure? Are you a corporate? Are you partnership? Are you sole proprietor? Are you an LLC? What is it? What is your TIN number? Okay, so that's some of the stuff that you have to fill all that out. And if you're registered in SAM, you've already filled this out. That's why I mentioned that earlier too. It's pointing that out here because I don't think we have that much more to go through. If they had an instruction to offer, section L section, they would have probably, I'm going to say, probably would have put that right next to the evaluation factors that we just looked at. But now on page 72, all the way at the end, we have an addendum instruction to offers. Let's see if this is just a blanket statement type thing or if there's something in here we really need to pay attention to. It looks like we do need to pay attention to it. Company name, address, cage code, DUNS, TIN. Okay, and this is, let's see here. Submit the signed and dated offers. Offers may be submitted on the 1449 form, letterhead, stationery, or otherwise specified in the solicitation. Submit them electronically to Brianna. Oh, here's something I mentioned earlier. Page limit. The proposal shall consist of 1 PDF document not to exceed 25 pages. The price worksheet will not count towards the 25 pages. The government cannot look at anything after 25 pages. So at a minimum, you have to include this info. So this is critical. This is the final spin. This is the cherry on top. If we didn't catch this, if we didn't see this, it would have messed us up for sure. So we have to actually add 25 pages, actually 1 PDF document only, 25 pages, which is a little funny, right? Because the whole solicitation is 86 pages here, and they're saying, hey, you can submit on this SF 1449 form, but what you would have to do is you'll have to take these sections out and basically put them all together. So you're going to have to do a bit of a hodgepodge type thing where we're on page 73, where you take this SF 1449, the first 2 pages, you're going to have to print, sign, and date here. You take them out. You take the pricing table, the pricing cleanse. You take that out. That's going to be another few pages. It's not terribly long. Reps and certs, I don't know what to tell you because those are longer than 25 pages in and of themselves. So unless they're not wanting reps and certs, I'm willing to bet contracting slipped up a little bit there. They didn't consider that. I feel very strongly about that. But this pricing, okay, you're going to have to extract this. This is going to go part of your PDF, but it is not going to go towards your page count because they told you that it would not. And then if it's me, I'm also taking these pricing cleanse. I'm filling these out. It's only a couple pages. And again, those should not count towards your your page count rather either. And then your response to this stuff, these things, past performance, technical, and technical, is going to make up the remainder of up to your 25 pages. Okay, not including pricing is your 25 pages. So it doesn't really change anything, but it just gives us a tighter framework of which we have to work in. What page did I say I was on? 73? Yeah. And then I guess lastly, there's not a whole lot in here. Like, for example, solicitation number, that should always be on the cover page that you submit. Your company POC info, you should always be doing that. They're telling you that you need to submit the technical past performance price. Okay, so we already looked at this in detail. So we are already checking these boxes so we don't have to overkill this. We've already looked at it in more detail in the evaluation. But a statement specifying agreement with all terms and conditions. We want to grab that. If they're asking you to do that, just include that statement, because you wouldn't get that anywhere else. And that statement can just be, ABC company agrees with all terms, conditions, and provisions in the solicitation. Offers that fail to furnish required representations or information or reject the terms may be excluded from consideration. So that's fine, but it's this statement right here that they want you to include as well. So we're just adding that really quickly to what's required in my response. Not a big deal. Questions, site visit info, so that's good. Insurance, and then wage determinations, which we're not going to get into today because we've already spent so much time. And that'll be it. So that's the entire solicitation. We've answered 2 questions in our time together. So let's go ahead and answer our 3rd one and wrap it up for today. Do I want to bid on it? If I'm in this, I'm looking favorably at this. If I'm in this niche, if I'm offering this professional service, I think I like this, with a caveat being on the site visit being tomorrow, which is not great, but this is due, April 4th, I think we said. Oh, I'm sorry, April 7th, even better. So we have time to put together pricing and technical approach and our, past performance. So we have time to put together our response. That's one point. Our next code's good. It's already for janitorial, so you probably already have that. The set aside is good. This is total small business. Man, talking and typing. Total small. We like this. What else? The locations, let's look at, it's a base +5. Good contract duration to have. And really, the scope of work is not too bad. And they're telling us 2 people. Because remember, they said 2 people kind of at any given time providing these duties. PWS was extremely clear in the areas, I should say the locations, work shall be provided, and the duties and tasks to be completed. So I'm not really, if I'm digging into this, I'm considering bidding on this, I'm not guessing a lot. I'm not having a lot of questions. If I have a lot of questions, there's a lot of uncertainties, it can make me no bid a contract. Sometimes, the longer the solicitation, the better, because hey, it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt to get through, like today going through it, but we feel crystal clear if we decide to move forward on what is expected from us, in not only in the work but also on how to put this response together. So at least investing the time, we're not wasting the time with a whole lot of guessing, or like I think I said previously, submitting a bid only to lose because we missed something or we were unclear on something. Best value, another important thing, best value procurement strategy. So not automatically going to the lowest bidder. This makes me like this, right? And also a bit flexible. I don't like the word, but I'll use it. A bit flexible on past performance. Flexible. I'm gonna create my own dictionary. A bit flexible on the past performance because up to 8 years and includes volunteer work. You can use that. So it's really all the typing that I need to do for this. So these are some of the initial things for me. Okay, do I want to bid this? You need to identify your own criteria to make bid no bid. I've done many videos on this in the past, but this is some of the standard straightforward stuff and just a little bit of me going off the cuff here today on things that come to mind for me that maybe you would consider for your business if this is your industry, if this is the space that you are in. So we went through the whole document. There was only one. We've answered 3 questions. What is the job? We've got very clear what's required in my response. We nailed it. I feel very strong about that. And then do I want to bid on it? I'm leaning favorably with the exception of the site visit. If it's a mandatory site visit, it could literally destroy this whole thing. Maybe you could get somebody to go on your behalf. If you're not local, you're probably not, but it would be a very last minute thing. At least you could get that intel, have them represent your company. But it's kind of up to you on that one. So that's the one thing, the time component of this. Other than that, I like it quite a bit. So you let me know in the comments, what does this look like for you? Is this a bid, no bid? Is there additional criteria that you think we should consider in looking at this? We went through it pretty quickly, so I'm not claiming to have caught everything 100%, but I think we did a pretty good job with a fine-tooth comb here today. And guys, the reason I'm doing this is to get you started, to take away the overwhelm in SAM.gov. But if you are needing additional support, you can check out also the link in the description or just at the bottom here of the video where I'm saying if you need support, we do have a small business incubator that's 100% focused on first fed bid. In fact, that's what it's called. It's called first fed bid. So if this is an area you want to be in, this is making sense, feel free to learn more about that and apply to the program if it's something that you think would be a good fit for you. Definitely would love to hear from you. So if you got something from today's video, hit the like button. I super appreciate it, and the algorithm appreciates it as well. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Consider subscribing. We're the fastest growing federal contracting YouTube channel in the world, which is amazing, and would love to have you be a part of that as well. So again, let me know, bid, no bid for you in the comments. What do you think? Make sure you check out the link for SAM.gov as well if you want to follow along in this video description. Until next time, guys, I'm going to catch my voice here. We went through a lot. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care.